paused on the landing, her heart beating faster with each step she crept down the dimly lit staircase. The light from the kitchen cast jagged shadows across the hardwood floor, the voices within hushed but unmistakably familiar. Her husband Nathan's deep timbre carried a tense undercurrent, his words clipped as though every syllable were a dagger meant for someone unseen. "Ah, we need to act soon," Nathan muttered, his voice chilling in its calmness. "And she suspects nothing," a softer, silken voice replied, a voice Anna instantly recognized as Jessica, her husband's assistant, whose charm had often felt too deliberate. Anna's hand gripped the banister, nails digging into the polished wood as she leaned closer, careful not to reveal herself. From her position, she could see the edge of the kitchen table, the glint of the wineglass in Jessica's hand, and the shadow of Nathan leaning toward her. "Once she's gone," Nathan whispered, his voice dropping lower, "everything will fall into place." The words slammed into Anna like a freight train. Her knees wavered, but she remained silent, her mind spinning as she replayed those chilling syllables. What did they mean? Gone? Permanently? The castle... Her breath hitched when Jessica laughed softly, the sound like a predator's purr. "Good," Jessica said, her tone dripping with venom. "I can't wait to start our new life without her in the way." Anna's world tilted, but a fierce determination rooted her to the spot. Her instincts had been right. Nathan's long nights, the cryptic text messages, the sudden distance between them, it had all been leading to this. She needed to think quickly, gather evidence, and most importantly, stay ahead of whatever treachery they were planning. And as she backed away into the shadows, her resolve crystallized. Whatever game they were playing, Anna would be ready. Anna retreated to her bedroom, her pulse pounding as she pieced together the fragments of what she had just overheard. Her husband's words replayed in her mind, a haunting echo that filled the silence. "Once she's gone." What had begun as vague unease was now a flood of undeniable certainty. Nathan and Jessica were plotting something sinister against her. She sat on the edge of the bed, her hands trembling. For years, she had trusted Nathan, believing in their partnership, their shared dreams. But tonight, she saw through the cracks in his mask, revealing a man capable of betrayal. Anna forced herself to think clearly. If she confronted Nathan now, he would deny everything, and Jessica would help him cover his tracks. No, she needed proof, indisputable evidence that would expose their plans and protect herself. She grabbed her phone, scrolling through recent texts and emails, searching for anything suspicious. Nathan had always been meticulous, but people like him always left something behind, a breadcrumb trail that could be uncovered by someone determined enough to look. The next morning, Anna's resolve hardened as she carefully went through Nathan's study while he was out for the supposed business meeting. His desk was impeccably organized, but Anna knew where he kept his spare phone. Finding it in a locked drawer, she used the password she had long ago memorized, a series of numbers corresponding to their wedding anniversary, the irony of which made her stomach churn. The messages on his spare phone were damning. Texts from Jessica oozed with conspiratorial intimacy. Did you get her signature on the insurance papers? And, we're so close, babe. Just stay calm. Each message painted a clearer picture of their plan, the language loaded with double meanings that felt like venom seeping into Anna's skin. But it was the email drafts that shattered her remaining disbelief. A draft titled Life Insurance Policy Inquiry revealed a detailed discussion about Anna's multi-million-dollar policy. Another email, unsent, outlined a vacation Nathan had apparently planned with Jessica, scheduled for just weeks after Anna's so-called disappearance. Anna copied everything onto a USB drive and emailed herself copies of the messages, careful to leave no trace of her intrusion. As she replaced the phone and locked the drawer, she noticed a faint scuff on the hardwood floor. Her eyes followed the line to the edge of the rug, where a corner had been hastily tucked under. She pulled it back to reveal a small safe embedded in the floor. The digital keypad mocked her with its blinking red light. Anna took a deep breath. It was likely the same combination Nathan had used on his phone, but if she guessed wrong, it might trigger an alert. Still, she pressed the numbers. Their wedding anniversary. The safe clicked open. Inside, Anna found passports, stacks of cash, and another folder labeled Joint Assets. She flipped through it to find detailed accounts of their investments, but something was off. The accounts were missing her name, replaced by Jessica's. Nathan was preparing to cut her out entirely. The depth of his deceit was staggering, but Anna's anger eclipsed her pain. She had the evidence she needed, but it wasn't enough to simply stop them. They needed to pay for what they had done, or planned to do. She would not be a victim, not anymore. By the time Nathan returned that evening, Anna was a picture of calm precision. She greeted him with a smile, hiding the storm beneath her serene exterior. She had spent the day meticulously piecing together her strategy, not just to protect herself, but to ensure Nathan and Jessica's betrayal would collapse under its own weight. "Long day?" she asked, noting the brief flicker of discomfort in Nathan's expression. "Exhausting," he replied, loosening his tie. "Meetings, meetings, and more meetings." He kissed her cheek, and Anna felt her stomach turn, but she played along, offering him a glass of his favorite whiskey. Tonight she would act the part of the unsuspecting wife, her warmth lulling him into false security. While Nathan unwound in the living room, Anna returned to the bedroom. Hidden within her closet was a small safe containing personal items Nathan knew nothing about. A private bank account, a burner phone, and a set of prepaid cards she had started collecting years ago. Her safety net for a rainy day. Tonight it was pouring. On the burner phone she called an old friend, Carla, who worked as a private investigator. Carla owed her a favor, and Anna was finally cashing in. She quickly explained the situation, her words clipped and direct. "Give me 24 hours, Carla promised. "I'll get you everything I can on both of them. You just focus on staying ahead of the game." Next, Anna opened her laptop and logged into a new email account she had created that morning. Using the copies of Nathan's emails and messages, she drafted a carefully worded message to the insurance company, pretending to be a concerned friend of Jessica's. The email hinted at a potential fraud scheme and requested an internal review of the policy changes Nathan had made. She hit send, knowing it would trigger an investigation. Anna's next move was riskier but necessary. From the shadows of their shared life, she knew enough about Nathan's business dealings to exploit his vulnerabilities. Logging into his business account, she scanned for inconsistencies. She didn't need to dig far. Transfers to offshore accounts linked to Jessica stood out like red flags. She downloaded the statements and saved them to her private drive, ready to hand them over to her lawyer when the time came. The following morning, Anna received Carla's report. It confirmed what Anna already suspected. Jessica had been in Nathan's life far longer than she claimed, dating back to a time when Anna had naively thought they were a happy couple. The report also uncovered Jessica's checkered past, her involvement in others' schemes, always targeting wealthy men. Armed with evidence, Anna reached out to a high-profile divorce attorney. She detailed everything, laying the groundwork for a scorched-earth legal battle. Her lawyer assured her they could freeze Nathan's assets and ensure his and Jessica's plans unraveled spectacularly. As Anna prepared for the next step, a dark satisfaction settled over her. The trap was set. Now it was only a matter of waiting for Nathan and Jessica to walk into it. The evening was quiet, the sort of silence that clung to the walls and pressed down like a weight. Nathan sat at the dining table, scrolling idly through his phone, while Anna pretended to tidy up the living room. In truth, her mind was elsewhere, meticulously rehearsing the confrontation she had planned. She would not go into this battle unprepared, and when she was ready, she set down her dustcloth, wiped her hands on her apron, and turned to Nathan. "We need to talk," she said, her voice firm but calm. Nathan glanced up, startled by her tone. "About what?" "About the lies, the deceit, and the little empire of betrayal you've built with Jessica," Anna replied, her words landing with the force of a hammer. Nathan froze, his expression shifting from confusion to alarm. He opened his mouth to protest, but Anna silenced him with a single commanding look. She reached into her bag and pulled out the folder she had prepared, dropping it onto the table in front of him. "What is this?" he asked, his voice tight. "Evidence," she said simply, watching him pale as he flipped through the pages. The incriminating text messages, the fraudulent insurance documents, and the financial transactions all stared back at him like damning witnesses. "Don't insult me, Nathan," Anna snapped. "You left breadcrumbs everywhere. I just followed them." She stepped closer, her eyes locked on his. "How long were you going to string me along? Until I disappeared? Until you and Jessica skipped town with my money? And my life?" Nathan's lips parted, but no sound came. For the first time since she had met him, he looked powerless. Before he could form a response, the doorbell rang. Anna turned without a word and answered it. Standing there was Carla, the private investigator, with a man in a tailored suit, Anna's lawyer. She let them in, their presence like reinforcements in her campaign. "We're here to ensure everything proceeds smoothly," her lawyer said, his tone as icy as Anna's glare. "What is this?" Nathan stammered, his voice rising in panic. "Reality," Anna replied. She gestured toward Carla, who placed a USB drive on the table. "That's every piece of evidence you thought you'd hidden. It's been sent to the authorities, the insurance company, and a few other key parties." "No, you wait," she interrupted. "You thought you could erase me, Nathan, but now I'm erasing you. Consider this your notice. The house, the accounts, and everything else you tried to steal are protected. By morning, you and Jessica will be nothing but cautionary tales." The fallout was swift and brutal. By the following week, Nathan's life was a ruin of shattered alliances and public disgrace. Anna had timed everything perfectly. The authorities were already investigating the insurance fraud and suspicious financial transfers. The company Nathan had worked so hard to maintain was now under scrutiny, with board members calling emergency meetings to distance themselves from the scandal. Jessica, too, had not escaped unscathed. The private investigator's report revealed her role in previous schemes, which Anna had anonymously sent to several of Jessica's other acquaintances. Word spread quickly, and Jessica's carefully constructed persona as a charming professional dissolved overnight. Anna, however, had little time to savor her victory. The past week had been an emotional whirlwind, from reliving the betrayal to executing her plan, and now, finally, standing amidst the wreckage with a strange mix of triumph and grief. On the morning of the court hearing to freeze Nathan's assets, Anna sat in her lawyer's office. The room was quiet, except for the clicking of a keyboard as her attorney finalized the paperwork. "The judge will rule in your favor," he assured her. "We built an airtight case. He won't be able to touch a penny." Anna nodded, but her focus was elsewhere. She stared out the window at the bustling city below, where people moved about their lives, oblivious to the drama that had consumed hers. For the first time in years, she felt like she could breathe. Later that day, as she returned to the house, her house now, Anna was greeted by a small package on her doorstep. Inside was a simple handwritten note. Anna, I'm sorry for everything. I didn't deserve your kindness. I certainly don't deserve forgiveness. Please know that whatever happens, I never stopped loving you. Nathan. Anna's first reaction was a bitter laugh. The audacity to talk of love after what he had done. But as the minutes passed, she felt a pang of sadness. Not for Nathan, but for herself. Grieving the man she thought he was, the future they were supposed to have, and the years she could never get back. Of course, Carla replied. Thinking of talking to someone? Nay, Anna said firmly. For others. The next month saw Anna moving forward with a renewed sense of purpose. Using her share of the assets, she made a generous donation to a women's empowerment organization, helping others navigate the treacherous waters of deceit and betrayal. On a crisp morning, Anna stood on her balcony, watching the sunrise paint the sky in hues of gold and pink. She felt a quiet pride, not just in what she had overcome, but in how she had risen from the ashes. Nathan and Jessica had tried to destroy her, but instead they had freed her. Justice was served, and a new chapter awaited. One Anna would write on her own terms.